Hey brother. Today we're going to be doing a different type of video. WWE 2K23 just released today their teaser that they do every year pretty much for the past few years of who will be in the DLC packs this year for WWE 2K24. A few of these on this image here are super easy and super clear as to who they're going to be. But there's a few people on this image that is keeping people guessing as to who it could be. So let's go ahead and discuss who is in it and who might be in it. First and foremost, dead center is going to be the Dudley Boyz. That's right. These glasses here indicate that Devon and Bubba Ray Dudley will be in WWE 2K24. Based on this teaser here, I will not be surprised if we get an ECW pack, given that on the right side here, you have hardcore legend Terry Funk. Right over here, you see Terry Funk's headband. You know, he just passed away this past year. I think a few days before Bray Wyatt, unfortunately. It's great to see that he's in this game. And it's pretty cool to see that we're going to get some ECW icons along with on the left side over here. This sword-looking image over here, which I was having a hard time looking at. People have already debunked that it is in fact, and if you get a closer look here, a kendo stick. That means the Sandman is going to be in this game. One of his most iconic weapons that he liked to use. Sandman is coming. I think with those 4 additions here, that's pretty much going to give us one of the DLC packs. I have noticed, and this is one of the ones I have not been able to get a final answer on, this black cap right here next to this plaid skirt. I've seen people saying it could be Paul Heyman during his ECW days. That makes a lot of sense. We have another manager that's likely going to be added to the game with this other giant heart megaphone known only to Jimmy Hart. Right there, Jimmy Hart confirmed for DLC. It's not unusual that WWE gives us managers. I think last year they released B-Fab as a manager exclusively, which I think was silly. I don't even think B-Fab is in the game this year as a competitor. Yep. Just like last year, this year, B-Fab is manager only. There are ways to work around that. There are people in the community that release these quote-unquote locked characters for people to download on community creations. Last year with B-Fab and Scarlet, even though Scarlet this year is in the game, B-Fab is locked behind whatever sort of restrictions they have for her. But people like What's the Status are able to unlock that and just post it for everybody to be able to utilize these characters. But right next to Jimmy Hart, right here, this guitar is known to a few people. It could be Elias. It could be Jeff Jarrett. But who it's actually going to be is Honky Tonk Man. This year has been all about Gunther pretty much, breaking records after records after records. He just beat the Honky Tonk Mans a few weeks ago. He just beat Pedro Morales' record a few days ago of the longest cumulative Intercontinental Championship reign. I think this is a great addition. It's going to be great fun to use Honky Tonk Man and use his guitar. Probably mid-entrance to be able to use his guitar as a weapon. And they've added a lot of weapons this year, so it's good to see that we're going to be able to have people themed to the updates that they have. To the left here of Honky Tonk Man, there is a luchador mask. Now, Rey Mysterio is of course confirmed for this game. There are not many other luchadors in WWE besides Dragon Lee, who is an up-and-coming WWE superstar here. It's most likely going to be Dragon Lee. He's not on the base game, and you know they like to have a mix of legends and NXT people. So Dragon Lee is probably going to take up this spot. Just to the left of Dragon Lee, we have the Pirate Wheel, which is known to Kairi Sane. This is from before she left WWE. She was very much more into that pirate gimmick that she had in Japan. But now, ever since coming back, she's been full damage control. I don't even think she's brought out the Pirate Wheel at all. So I hope we get an updated version of Kairi Sane, but she will be in the game nonetheless. Above Kairi Sane, we have 2 individuals who are pretty obvious as well. Make it 3. The Apple is obviously Carlito. There is no question as to who that is going to be. The boot to the right of Carlito, curved in a way that indicates Iron Sheik is going to be in this game. And then underneath the apple, this one was hard to read, given that this damn logo is covering the text, but it says Always Tired, which is Post Malone's tattoo. And they already announced that Post Malone is going to be a playable character this year, just like Bad Bunny was last year and Machine Gun Kelly the year before that. Moving over a little bit to the right, we got 3 more women confirmed. This feather here is for Lyra Valkyrie. Valkyrie. I still think that she's going to get a name change when she gets called up to the main roster because that's just too hard to say. But Lyra, NXT champion, current NXT champion, is going to be in the game. Odd that they saved it for DLC, but I mean, they need NXT people. An interesting NXT omission, actually, that people are upset about is Lash Legend. Lash Legend is not teased in any of these images here. I saw people reaching and saying that the fireworks indicated the colors for the remaining Metaphor people. That would include Lash Legend. I honestly don't see it. It's unfortunate. She's out of the game again this year, given that she's been in the WWE and NXT since 2021. But here's hoping for 2025. Next to Lyra is the Jade, which is obviously for one Jade Cargill. She has had one match, and it was the Royal Rumble match since she got signed. Here's hoping that she gets a match at WrestleMania, because the Elimination Chamber is tomorrow by the time this goes up, or later today, depending on where you are. And she is not on that card. She didn't make it to the Elimination Chamber despite some leaked images. But it's good that they got her scanned and they're going to put her in the game. It's going to be great fun to put her up against the person who's overlapped on top of her. If you look up here in the top right, another very obvious addition is the Irresistible Force. Nia Jax is coming as DLC. I like that. It's a shame she wasn't in the base game this year, but I'm glad that she's back in. Underneath Nia Jax, there are three obvious additions as well here as I zoom in close. The DDP Diamond Hands. That's a great clear addition here. He was back in it back when they were doing like WCW stuff, back when like Sting was still in the game. They took him out. Glad he's back in. I like it. I wonder which version of DDP they're gonna have. It's usually these old outdated ones. I would like more modern versions of these superstars and legends. Behind DDP is the Lex Express. I was never really watching WWE during that time. I don't even think I was born during the Lex Express era. But you see a bus with the American flag, you know that's Lex Luger. Even I know that's Lex Luger. And in front of Lex Luger, you have these pearl necklace, which comes from Tori Wilson's entrance Tron package that she had back in the day. And it seems Tori Wilson will also be added to WWE 2K24, which is nice. I saw she was doing interviews recently with Chris Van Vliet. She is a WWE Hall of Famer. And I'm glad that she is getting her time here in the WWE games. Last year, I think it was Eve Torres that we got for DLC. That was a really random addition, but it's nice. We got Tori, and there's actually a few others now that we've got all the obvious ones out of the way. We can start discussing here who these other ones might be. There is another woman coming, at the very least one. People have been hoping that it's a pack, given that this is so vague, but the old women's championship is being presented here. Now, it's unlikely that it's just going to be the title added to the game. They have all the titles pretty much, including the Divas and like old school women's championships here in the game just by default. So this is indicating somebody who is known with this title. It could be a couple of people. It could be all of the people. I'm hoping it's Mickie James. I know she signed with OVW, and it's very unlikely that it's going to be Mickie, but when you look at this, you think Lita, Trish, Mickie, those trailblazers in the business. But if you look back a little further, if you go a little deeper, you've got people like Victoria. You got Lay Cool, Michelle McCool, and Layla. Layla hasn't been in the game in a very long time. She's retired from wrestling pretty much. It would be fun to have both of them back in the game. I don't think it's going to be Lay Cool just because they're known for having the cracked belt. I would prefer Victoria. It's time for her to go in the Hall of Fame. And then, of course, Mickie James. I've been wanting a game with Mickie, Lita, and Trish for a while. I thought the last, what was it, 22, had Mickie and Trish, but Lita wasn't in it for some reason. So I just want a modern game with those three women in it. You also have people like Melina, who you think of when you see this title. That'd be a fun addition as well. And speaking of women, going up here just a little bit up from her, you see this yoga instructor woman doing a pose here behind the Sandman and above Dragon Lee's, presumably Dragon Lee's mask. I see people calling out that this might be Wendy Richter, which I think is hilarious. She's from way before when I started wrestling, but more recently she's been getting a lot of attention because Toni Storm in AEW has this timeless Toni Storm gimmick, and she's having fun calling out Wendy Richter for a match. I think that's like hilarious. Every time it comes up, I can't help but laugh when Toni Storm calls out Wendy, and it's just kind of perfect timing for WWE to take her and use that attention that she's getting from AEW and putting her in a WWE game. Up on the top left, you see a little bit of what looks like mist here. People are saying it could be something. I don't know. It looks kind of just like, I'm gonna zoom out here. It looks just like flare, like these like fires that they have around this, like red, blue, pink, and then the green just to kind of tie it in. If that is something, it's probably going to be Tajiri or the Great Muta. It's more unlikely that it'll be Muta, but, you know, Shinsuke Nakamura had a match with the Great Muta in Japan. Rey Mysterio came out, I think this past WrestleMania, with the Great Muta mask. He was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. That'd be like an out there choice, but certainly not something that I can see not happening given all the stuff I just mentioned. Another one that I'm unsure of is this plaid shirt. Now, people are saying Brian Pillman, Lexus King. I don't know if he was confirmed for the roster. Let me just look that up. No, Lexus King is not in the base game. So maybe they add Lexus and Brian Pillman together. That would be nice. I don't really know who else this tie-dye shirt could be, so if you have any ideas, if anybody has any ideas, let me know. To the right of that one, there is this plaid skirt. That one is more than likely going to be the Headbangers, an old tag team. I think I saw a few months ago that they signed a Legends contract with the WWE, and I think this is why. Finally, there are just a few more things on here. I've already mentioned so many other people. So this DLC is already looking great. I'm happy with all these people. There's one obvious omission that I think people are hoping for. But first, before we get to that, there's this moon in the top of the screen here. Not sure who that could be. People are saying Luna Vachon. Luna is Spanish for moon, so that's pretty clear there. Obviously, it's not going to be Ember Moon. She's with AEW. Or that could not be a moon at all, and maybe it's a sun for Sol Ruka. So either way, we're getting a woman. I'm pretty sure it's going to be either Luna Vachon or Sol. But the point of contention, the biggest point of contention here is this microphone. Before I saw the Always Tired tattoo, I was worried that that was just going to be for Post Malone. You know, he's an artist. It could be one of two people. Honestly, it could be one of two people. Mr. Kennedy, highly unlikely, or CM Punk. Now, if it's CM Punk, you'd think they would do like a lightning strike or maybe the Chicago logo or the fist wrap. So it's making me think it probably isn't CM Punk, but who else do you know that is known for a microphone? It's on a mic stand. So, I mean, I don't think CM Punk has ever had that. And it very much looks like a singing microphone, not as much a, you know, like a pipe bomb WWE microphone. So I'm unsure, but I haven't seen really anybody else hammer down who that could be. I really think it's not going to be CM Punk. I think it's very, very unlikely that he's in this year. I think they're going to save him for maybe like the pre-order DLC for next year. But it's a shame because you got people like Jade who haven't wrestled and Carlito who's came back at Backlash. Given that he could be in the last DLC pack like Bray Wyatt was this past year, they saved him for the end because people really wanted him. I think you have that whole year pretty much because it came out late in the year to do CM Punk. They don't even have to show any screenshots. They could just say, we're working on him, he's coming. Just like they're doing for the 40 years of WrestleMania pack, which I think I'm going to end up buying. It's $120. You don't even get the stage that you're paying for until the summer because they've announced that they're going to be working on it once the real stage is revealed. So that's good. They're open about that kind of stuff. So hopefully they're open about, you know, we want CM Punk in this game for you guys. We're going to work our damnedest to get him in for DLC Pack 5. It's going to be a lot of work, and I think this game's going to be a lot of fun. So we'll see. That's going to be it for this video. It was a long video, but we were breaking down who's going to be in the DLC for WWE 2K24. Already a stacked roster. If you're interested to see who is going to be in that full roster, I'll link down below Smackdown Hotel. I've been following them for a few years now, and every year they have these very organized and updated rosters with who's going to be in it, what outfits, organized by DLC, by Raw, by Smackdown. It's all there. That's going to be it. I wanted to make a video. I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye-bye.
Did you do an arm drag? That's fantastic. I was actually referring to AEW's newest signee.
Wendy Richter.
No.